In the last stream, I was very tired, but on top of that, I was basically I was doing something on the side, like a side project, I guess. And I decided, well, the reason I did that is I thought it would be kind of easy to implement, and I don't think it'll be that hard, but uh, it's going a little bit away from what the main goal is. So I still want to do that. I do want to create a simple solver in the browser. It'll look like, this one here, or similar to this one that we've seen before. Hmm. Um, but yeah, I want to stick to what I'm actually trying to do, which is to get this to work in the browser. That's the main goal, and that was the main goal the whole time. The other thing would be kind of cool to do. But to do that other thing, I need to just focus more on that because it'll be a little bit different. So I'm gonna quit trying to do both things. I'm gonna focus on getting this to work, and then after I'm done with that, I'll come back to getting the just a basic solver example working. And another thing with that too is when I do work on that other thing, since it doesn't use, well, when I work on the solver itself, from what I can tell, you don't necessarily maybe need to use CBC. You can just use CLP. So CLP is the actual solver. And I was reading through this documentation they have, or user guide or whatever they call it, for the CBC stuff. And yeah, it's basically the solver itself is CLP, which I did all of those CLP, CGL, CBC, OSI, whatever. So those are all, as far as I know, working and ported over. So maybe I can like cut some stuff out and just use CLP instead of CBC. I don't know exactly how it works, but it seems to me like CLP is the solver and CBC is like the model it uses or the algorithm it uses to solve. I don't know exactly the difference, but something along those lines. Um, Technically, CBC accesses the solver and through the OSI solver interface. And another thing I found was, I need to copy this actually, in that user guide, it's a little bit different. It has it has a um, best solution right here, which is we found in the other examples. So instead of after the branch and bound and all this stuff, it just gets the best solution. So I think I'll probably refer to this when I'm working on it later. All right. So I'll close I'll leave those open. And then another thing too is I was reading, I just was looking through the code on this, and instead of read MPS, you can do read LP. And what I'll probably want to do is, and LP is the format that looks like a little bit more readable. You probably just want to use read LP rather than like using LP format, maybe converting it to MPS. I don't know. So that's another thing. But for what I'm doing, I'm going to let it to the default, which I think is MPS, which is fine. Um, and then OSI solver. Yeah, so read LP, it has several definitions as far as I can tell. You can take a file name, you can take a file, I don't, I'm not familiar with C++, but file handle, maybe that's what that is. And you can, or file pointer, I should say, and then, I don't know what that is, like a class, like you could build an LP object or something, or a class, I don't know, and then pass it in. So, um, yeah, so I'll look more into that when I focus on that project. I'll actually save this too. But for now, I'm going to focus on the getting this to work because this is actually using Python, which is the title of the stream and the video. So I want to also just keep it like um, not like go back and forth on what I'm working on. Okay. 'Cause I think the last video was also titled Python in the browser, and I don't know if it had very much Python involved, so I want to avoid doing that. All right. Yeah, I was looking at branch and bound, which is what that stands for branch, cut, and bound, or whatever. I don't know. And yeah, it's an algorithm. So anyways, going back to this, how do I get this working? So the first thing I actually want to do is get this working in the browser. So just like pulp, I'm gonna clone it. And go from there. Let's see. New. What do I call this? Why is this? Pulp test, right? Okay. So okay. So from the desktop, I'll go ahead and clone it. All right. Cool. Dang it. Did that go on the other screen? Yes, it did. All right. We have these two things, which are the Python libraries. That's just whatever, working with that as well. Okay. Now I want to, what do I want to do now? Actually, I want to test my audio. I haven't even checked it. There we go. Okay. So, test FPS. This did read it, I think. It gave us an answer. I wasn't sure, but um, actually, we could probably use that. That's on this server as well. Ah, did I just delete that? Did I really delete that? It's in here, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Um, yeah, we have pull. All right, so the first thing we want to do is so we're not gonna have the same issue as before where not gonna have the same issue as before where we need to actually modify pull, or maybe we will, but there's another issue with this. So if we go to PyDFS and um PyPy, however you say that. When you go to download files, you can see there's no wheel, which is what we need to work with Pyodide. So what we need to do is do build, I don't remember, Pyodide. I'll have to look that up again. Frequently asked questions, wheel, okay. Build the wheel yourself. So this is what we'll have to do. Just like before, Anaconda. Where does this start you out? There. CD space desktop. CD space pi. And then I think just run this. Is it Python 3? Python, right? Hold on. Python and build. So just like we did before with pulp, again, there'll be a dist folder at the end and a wheel, which we can move over to our test, pulp test, I called it. So let me grab that. Is that already open? Yes, it is. So I can move it over here. Once that's done, what is this? Lib pulp test. Okay. Looks like it might be done. Nope, still working. Let's see, do these, or does this library have a test file we can use? Layers. Maybe. Ability to create. This might be a test file we can use. Seems too small. No, it's too small to know with people. Well, mm, no, I don't think so. But I'll be able to get a test file. Alright, just so we can see it's a any. It's perfect. Um, let's cut it. Not too large. It's bigger than this, isn't it? It's a little bit smaller, but not big at all. Alright, and then we'll need to go into pulp test. Um, and grab the file name. Let's see, where did I do that? Index.js. We need to load that package as well. Oops. Oh, I also came in and I need pulp first, right? I think that's, I need to do these in order. I also came in and realized I don't need, I might need pandas, or might want to use pandas later for part of this project, but for now, I don't need it. So that's then commented out, but I realize I don't need micropip because I'm not installing anything. I'm just loading wheels that I built myself. So I think we're good to go there. Wait, micropip install. Yeah, we're not installing this. So. Everything else looks good. Oh, I was also thinking the way I'm doing this, too, with the Python code, I'm loading it. I wonder if there's a security issue there. I'm not sure, to be honest. May or may not be. I'm not sure if that's better. I imagine that could be worse than just putting a template string in there of the code instead, but I guess when I'm all done, I could just copy this and throw it in a template string and not have to worry about it. But anyways, so that's loaded, and then I want to do in here, I want to actually just load that because that's the main thing I'm trying to get working. I'll leave this in here because I might need it to test pulp on its own, but let me try to get this working. So let's see what happens here. Since this includes pulp, I think it should be fine. And what else? I guess we can, let's just see if it imports correctly. Actually, you know what? I'll do this. I'll do this line. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's try that. And I need to load that up in here. Hmm. There is an issue. Let's see what it says. No module named PyTZ. Okay. I can most likely pip install that, or it might be included with Pyodide. Where is that? Must have closed it. Loading packages, packages built. Yeah, it's already included. Okay. So all I need to do in that case is I don't need micropip. I just need. Did I copy it already? That's pretty easy. Okay, cool. See if that fixes that. So far, so good. Alright, everything seems to be fine. Loading pull, loading that. Alright, cool. Next step will be to run this example. Let's first start with this. So I need a CSV. Um, hmm. Let's see here. What am I doing? Um, well, this file doesn't exist, I don't think. As an example, I wish there was one sample file in here. As far as I know, there's not. This. Let's search through code base for a CSV. Let's see. Let's see if I'm just missing it. Really? Oh no, it's not searching for files. Wait, how do you do this actually? Oh, I need to search in Windows, I guess. I'm just testing that. Wait, how do you search for Isn't that how you do it? Really? I don't know how to do a window search. Alright. I setup. Oh, is something wrong? Or shouldn't that at least find the setup file here? What's going on? Like it just doesn't work. Or I don't know what I'm doing, I guess. I don't know. Let's see, or maybe it's not indexed, but even if it's not indexed, this is still search, right? What's going on? Thoughts? Huh. Let me see something. Windows file or search. Windows 11. I don't know. It's crazy. I guess I could do um, this. Do we have grep here? Okay. ls dash r. Linux find files recursively. Find. Nice. Okay. Okay, cool. Find. Ooh. Is that in quotes? Why is it in quotes? How about just start up? Alright. Interesting. Seems to work. Alright, and then let's see. Nothing. Okay. Alright. I think there's another way to load. I think we could just do load players. Pass in a list, I think. Let's see if that errors out. Will be removed in version 3.7. Okay. What version are we on? 1? Oh, 3.6, I guess. Okay. What is this down here? Hmm. Interesting. Okay. So I guess we could just do load CSV. It'd probably be better. Or whatever it was before. I need to know the format. So let's go in here. Um, what is it? Load test. Load players from CSV. And it's optimizer. For this. Actually, I can just search the code base. The CSV importer. Okay. Where was that? Guess I could search for that too. It's in settings. Um, uh, it depends on the site. FanDuel Classic? What is this? League of Legends? FanDuel CSV importer. Okay. I think we could just get that from like the site itself. Hmm. Fantasy points per game. ID, first name, last name, position, team. Hmm. Let me look at DraftKings. Okay. Mm, you know what? I need to grab one of these, I guess. Alright, let's see if this will do what I'm trying to do. Downloads, FanDuel, India. Let's see what we got. Um, so I think this is what we want. Yeah, pretty sure this is exactly something that'll work. Alright, so I'm gonna cut Um, where was that? Pulp test, and we'll call it, what should we call this? Data, I guess? I don't know. Paste. There. So, what do I call this? Vandal. Let's call it FD for short. Okay. And then sport site is FanDuel. Sport is basketball. Okay. Load players. So it's not gonna work because it's not, shouldn't have access to it. But let's see. How can I make that happen? Yeah, no such file or directory. Um, I'm guessing I would just fetch it. But let's see what the documentation says, 'cause I'm not sure. File. Dealing with the file system. Okay, Pyodide includes a file system provided by Emscripten. Okay, so it's probably very familiar with what we've done before. Writing to the file system. Um, okay, let's just see if this works. It's obviously not in the right format. I'm just wondering if it'll work, and then I'll basically just have to do something similar to this, and then, yeah. Let's see here. I guess let's do it up here. And let's call it FD NBA CSV. Okay. Hopefully we won't get the same doesn't exist error. And we do? Really? FD NBA. Let me see something. Node FS. Really, that doesn't work. Um, let's do that. Surprised how fast this loads. Oh, nice. Okay. Incorrect CSV format. I do want to see the file system though. Can we see that or no? Hmm. Default file system is memfs. This is actually fine. Yeah, this is, I believe, IndexedDB. Okay, so incorrect format. Alright, so if we do this, CSV data and data slash fd nba dot csv and console.log csv data. Let's see what we get. Okay, cool. It's logging. And then just get rid of this, get rid of that, and then CSV data. No error messages, maybe? Nice. Alright. Now we can try to optimize it. Um, sure there was another way to work with files. Maybe not. Hmm. Alright. So it's loaded. We're at this point, right? Um, Here. Next part of the example. Let's go back. Well, would be to run it. Probably not going to work, right? Let's see what happens. Let's actually start with 2. See what error messages we get. Okay, command not available. That's actually happening at full. Really? Hmm. Thought I got that working. Alright, let's trace it through. So it's calling this. Passing it LP solver. Oh, that's probably why. LP solver. Message equals false. Yeah, so let's try to rebuild it and not pass anything. Mm, Actually, let me think about this. What I would like to do is actually, instead of maybe not passing anything, just keep it how it is. It'd be nice to not have to modify both. If I could just modify one, because I definitely need to modify pull. Hmm. Hmm. Message is false. Modification would be really small though. Basically just can set I could just make this as nothing, or I could set that to none. I think that would work. Hmm. Wait, why is that not working now? I could also make this export make it nothing. Let me look at the CBC command. Kind of weird because I made it. Hmm. Why is it doing that actually? Actually, I think maybe it's what I was doing before. I just need to. I think it's maybe getting here and it's accept and it's returning false. So what I had before that I didn't end up doing, because I probably want to do that. It's up here and available, I have it true. Let's try that. I think that'll actually work. Let's give that a shot. Yeah, this is probably due to incorrect permissions too, so and it's getting this error messages, check permissions. See if that's anywhere else. Yeah, it's actually the only place it says check permissions, so it's definitely getting there. Um, so I think if we just say true, we're good to go. All right. Let's go back to pulp and build it again. Do I need to do anything special with that? I don't think so. Python-m build. Let that finish. While that's running, I'm going to take a quick break. Be back as soon as it's done. Cool, that's done. I don't know why I minimize this window, but alright, so grab this, just cut it and put it in. Put it in here. Paste, replace. No error message, please. Ah, that's weird. It's actually weird. Wait a second. Hmm. 376. Interesting. Alright, so it's calling solver.solve, hold solver.py, line 47. Hmm. Hold on. Hold solver.py, line 47. Why is this code unreachable, by the way? So it's getting here, and there's an exception or something. Wait, it's calling actual solve. I guess I don't quite understand how this is working. Hope solver line 47. Yeah, let's go to that. Hmm. That is here. Oh, we already knew that. Okay. And then for some reason I thought that was in the other file. And then solver.actual solve 1913 and 376. Well, this is defined. This is defined. Sorry, this definition is defined only because um Only because there's an exception here, right? So if I just avoid the exception, I should be good. I just don't get why there's an exception here. Hey, Schoolie, how you doing? Like, does OS... And I also don't know why this is inaccessible, because the only way I would see that's inaccessible... Hold on, let me see. If true, print test. So that's not inaccessible. So it's basically saying this is always false or something, which I don't understand. Is it like just incorrectly saying it's unreachable? Or it's like, I don't know. I don't get that. But what I can do in here is basically just not define this at all. Um, and I could also just say is this word pass? No. Return or something? No, because that's not a um I'm doing okay. Not doing too bad. Just grinding this project. I'm actually kind of enjoying it though, so it's a good thing. Um Exception. I could just get rid of all this, really. Don't need this check. I might need this for some weird reason. I'll just leave that. I could just get rid of all this. Pretty much. If else. I guess I don't get how this code's working. Alright, let's just remove it. And I'm actually also going to remove the else as well. Dang, we gotta move everything over. I kind of want to avoid that actually. So let's just let this happen. Except, we'll just say, except it doesn't do anything. Pass, I guess. So the exception will be thrown, but then, does that work? Python, exception handling. It is possible to write programs that handle if no exception occurs, the except clause is skipped. The execution of the try statement is finished. If an exception occurs during the execution, the rest of the clause is skipped. Then if the type matches, then execution continues after the try. Okay. This was what I was wondering. Execution does continue after that. Okay. I think. I could also just not do this too, probably. I don't get how this. So this if is related to this else? What? Is this some Python pattern I'm not familiar with? Or is this a normal programming thing I just don't know what I'm doing? I don't know. But this is an easy way to do it. What if and else? So this if or this else is associated with this if, maybe, or no, or it's associated with the exception. I don't understand this. I didn't know you could do that, if that's the case. Because this is all the way over. There's no more. So that's no block that I'm missing. It's associated with the exception. Okay. Except else. Okay. Python else. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So that's a problem actually then. Awesome. Thanks, Schoolie. Try, except, else, execute if no exception. Alright, so I actually need to prevent the exception. So one thing I could do is just get rid of the else, get rid of the try, all that. And then de-indent or whatever, unindent that section, but I really don't want to do that. So, I guess to get the exception to not happen, I could just comment out this and then say, we'll leave this code down here alone since I don't even want it to run. And then in here, just say true or something. Does that work? Can you just have a statement like that? Or I mean a value like that? I think so. If I do pass, does that work? Maybe? I'm gonna try pass. I think that makes it's just more clear. Because I can't have no code, right? No code won't work. Wait, yeah. There needs to be something there without having to mess with all the formatting. I think that's the best way. Thumbs up? Alright, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that. That helped a lot. Um, pass. Okay. I think pass will work. Let's try to build it again. Let's see. I basically just want it to skip some of these branches of execution is the goal, and I think we're good to go. Pulp lib. Let's open up pulp. Dist. Let that finish. Yeah, my goal is minimal changes, so I don't have to make more later and stay in sync with updates. All right, let's see if that works. Nice, nice. We got past that. Okay. I think it's actually running. It just obviously isn't working. It's in run. Okay, lineup optimizer, solve. Pulp solver line 57. Yep. Nice. Very nice. Okay. So line 57, that's here, which is whatever. Solve from solve. Um, so it never says LP status optimal, but um, what exactly is that actually? LP status optimal. I gotta go in here. What does that look like? It's camel case, Pascal case, LP status optimal. Hmm. So it's loading it from directly from pulp. So I don't know if it's looking for a one or the string of optimal. Well, anyways, um, cool. But we are at least getting there. Self.prob.status. Okay. I think I do need to do some other stuff, right? So, so pulp itself is going to create the file and then call. I need to figure out how this is going to work. So we have a problem and it's calling solve on it, passing that in. There is one thing I want to do actually. The good news is it's starting to work how I want. So we have a problem. Calling prob solve. Right now, prob solve um, doesn't return a status, it returns an MPS file. Alright, so let me go back in prob solve and see what we're dealing with. So in actual solve, which is where we end up, we're down here. It has a problem. I actually kind of want to print out the problem and see if it like makes sense. Let me just see if that's working while I keep thinking about how I'm going to do this. And yeah, use MPS is true. There's nothing. I'll also print use MPS and make sure that's the route that it's taking. Um, I guess I could just print LP down here. Um, yeah, I'll just print it down here. Print LP. LP. And then just move it from there. Okay. So two things I need to know. What does the LP look like? Does it look reasonable? From there, is it using MPS? And then we know it's going with this path. It's creating an MPS file, not an LP file. And then so we're getting an MPS file. From there, it needs to call the solver, which it would normally do up here. But do I want to, is there a way to call that from here? How would that work? I don't think so. I think I will need to modify the other program a little bit because we're getting an MPS file from here. It's just returning it, and it's going to give it back to the other package, the other program that's running. And the only way I would get it to actually solve it is to call that from here. I just don't think that's possible. Okay, this is kind of an interesting problem. Let me look through, let's see how this is doing. Oh, that's actually done. Okay. This will be a good clue to see what's going on. Actually, it's kind of just verifying it's working how I think. All right. Nice. Okay, cool. So it does have an MPS, I mean an LP. Use MPS, so it is using MPS. Okay, so there's nothing being passed into it that would cause that not to run. So now I know for sure we're on this path. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna look through Pyodide really quick and see if there's a way to do another way to do what I'm trying to do. Okay, so I keep closing the documentation. Alright, Pyodide. Hmm. I think I'm just gonna read through this. Already read through this part. Running Python code. Takes an input string of Python code. If the input string ends in an expression, it returns a result of the expression. Okay. Similar to like a Jupyter notebook, right? Prints out the result or something. Actually, I think it does some formatting of different things too. Anyways, for example, the following code will return the version string as a JavaScript string. Okay. Actually, sidetrack a little bit. I want to look up security. Right there it is. Why can't I load files from the local file system? Okay. Send a Python object from my server to Pyodide. So you call it. All right. Oh, I mean to close that. All right, let's go back to the documentation. Okay, I already got past that part. All right, that's accessing Python scope from JavaScript. All functions and variables defined in Python global scope are accessible via Pyodide globals object. Really? It's interesting. Hmm. What I could do is, let me think about this. I'm like 90% sure I have to definitely modify the code here to get it to work, but it shouldn't be too much, really. So that's good. I was also wondering to, I'm gonna make a copy of this. Copy, paste. I'm just wondering what files are in here. Test, zip. Pretty much need all these. Fanball, solvers. Technically don't need this, but it's small, who cares? Alright, cool. And then what's in here? License, all that good stuff. Cool. Alright. So next step. working. What's this? Forbidden. I wonder if that would still work. I don't know. Assign new values to Python global variables or create new ones from JavaScript. That's pretty crazy. Um, as accessing JavaScript scope from Python using the JS module. Directly manipulate the DOM. Hmm, interesting. That actually might be pretty useful. Maybe. But I'm thinking I probably want to do all the JavaScript stuff in JavaScript. But I might need to... I don't think I'll need to do this. Maybe, maybe. Alright. It's good to know. Hmm. The document describes to execute Python scripts asynchronously. Oh, okay. I think I actually need to do this at some point using Pyodide in a web worker. I'm not going to do it yet, but it's good to know. It's not too hard to do. Loading custom Python code. Pyodide provides simple API to run Python code. Create a Python package, load your Python package. Oh, okay. This is probably a better way to do what I'm doing here, loading the text. Okay. I mean, it's probably more for larger projects, but still, I think that's the way to go. Maybe. I'm not sure. Dealing with the file system. I already read this. Loading packages. I think I already read this. Only the Python standard libraries available. Load package or install. So far we've been using load package, right? Yeah. Ah, you can do multiple at a time. Okay. I'm gonna throw that in a comment just because I might want to do that later, just to remind myself. Although, I don't know. I could probably do that now, right? Let me see if I can do that now. Let's grab this, and this one too. Format. Let's see if that works. Seems to work. Are we getting a different error? Oh, okay. It was a different error, I think. But there's that error. Alright, I think that's good. Get rid of this. Leave those for now. Alright. Pretty happy that's doing most of the stuff. Creating the problem. It is not airing out except for when it tries to actually get the solution, which makes sense because it's not actually solving yet. Looks good. Alright, next thing. Load package returns a promise. Yep. Micropip installing packages from PyPy. How do you pronounce that? PI? Oh, PyPI. I like PyPy though. Yeah, it does confuse it with PyPy, but I'm not worried about that. Alright, installing wheels from arbitrary URLs is basically what I'm doing, but the URL is the same as the site. Okay. This is all good. Type translations. In order to communicate between Python and JavaScript, we translate objects between the two languages. I might have to worry about this with what I'm doing, but I don't think so yet, at least. I think it'll just kind of work. But if we run into weird type errors, check that out. And that might be, oh no, that's not what's going on here, but I am getting a type error, but it's has nothing to do with that, really. Pyodide Python compatibility. Most of the Python standard library is functional except for the modules listed in the sections below. Which ones are skipped? Okay. threading, some other stuff I probably don't care about. Anyways, removed modules. Right. Included but not working. Threading. Interrupting execution. The native Python interrupt system is based on preemptive multitasking, but WebAssembly has no support for preemptive multitasking. What is that? It's a type of multitasking that allows computer programs to share operating systems and underlying hardware resources. It divides the overall operating computing time between processes and the switching of resources between different processes. Oh, right, okay. I think I understand that. Okay. Because of this interrupting execution, because of this, interrupting execution in Pyodide must be achieved via a different mechanism, which takes some effort to set up. I don't think I'm going to deal with interrupts, so okay there. API stuff, or reference. Went through the basic docs, building from sources, don't care about that right now. Creating a Python package, how to contribute, testing, debugging. What is it? Hmm. Okay. Roadmap, reducing download sizes, improve performance, better support, and documentation for loading user Python code. I think they do a decent job at that for now, based on what I saw earlier and the way I'm doing it, which might be a bad way. It works, at least for a single file. Um, right, HTTP client terms of web APIs, synchronous IO, improve support for web workers. Probably will have to do that, but we'll see. Cool. Let's look at the change log really quick. Actually, what did I just see? Never mind. Just the latest changes. See if there's anything that applies to me. I don't think so. Okay. Creating a. What was the thing I skipped over? Oh yeah, frequently asked questions. I'll just scan through these. How can I load external files? Hmm. Okay. How do I detect code is run? Wait, at runtime you can check if Python is built. Oh, alright, that would be like, yeah, it's not something right. Well, I don't think I need to do that. How to create custom Python packages from JavaScript? How can I send Python object from my server to Pyodide? I already looked at that. Python function as an event handler. Wonder if I do need that though. Uh, how can I use fetch with optional arguments from Python? Not worried about that right now. This I might need. Control the behavior of standard in, out, error. I already did that one. How can I change the behavior of run Python and run Python async? Okay. Alright. Couple things I can definitely, things I need to work on, but it's fine. Alright, as far as this, back to the actual problem. Let's trace through it again. So in here, we're calling solve. It's looking for a status of optimal. And then it's pulling out the stuff. And the problem is an LP problem, which is using pull. How does this work? I think I'm gonna think about it for a few minutes and I might just hop off and think about it off stream for a little while, how I best want to handle this, but I'll think about it for a minute at least. Let's see. Solve prob solve. And we know we're getting the problem correctly. What did this used to say? This used to say this used to say status, right? Wait, I want to see something really quick. I can actually change this back. 'Cause it never gets there anyways. It doesn't matter. Great. I'm not even sure if I need that, but I'll leave it. Rebuild this one thinking. Alright, so this used to say status at the end, right? Yeah, so it returns the status from actual solve. If we go back in here, we get status, returns status, and then is this, what is calling solve? Yeah. And then does it set status? It must, right? It must set its own status. Dot status equals. LP problem. Assign status. What class is this? Why am I using the mouse wheel? Okay, LP problem. So it's using assign status. I want to see where it's called. That's where it's at. Okay. All right. What is this? Find solution values. Oh man. Does it call this? What is this down here? Coin MP deal. Okay. Thought we were gonna have to deal with that. Assign status. I don't need to worry about that. Alright, cool. Alright, well, that's where that's happening. So we do need to call the actual solver. Hmm. Just trying to think what's the better way to do it. Like modify this more or modify the other one more. I think since we can't, we need to get the problem back. We got the problem. We need to go solve it. Right? Yeah. Alright. So let's look through this again. Solve.prob.solve. So now I need to look basically how this is using solve, I think. So if we go here, yeah. So solver.solve, and it gives us back solved variables, which is here. Solved variables is an array. Okay. Like, I'm just trying to think, how do I break this up? Like, in my mind, I need to stop here. Wait, stop. Stop here or something. Get the thing solved, and then continue. Alright, I'm not making a lot of progress. I think it does help to think about stuff. Even though it seems like it's not progress, helps to, like, I think I am making progress. What I'm trying to say is I'm making progress. It just doesn't feel like it right now, but, um, yeah, I gotta think about this a little bit more, how I'm gonna design this and what I need to modify. And I think I'll probably do that off stream, but we'll see. Either way, I'm gonna take a break. So, anybody watching, Schoolie, if you're still here, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Maybe it might be later today. We'll see. All right, take care.